Do you ever have that feeling that you aren't getting the things done that you actually really want to be doing? You know what you want to achieve, you even know that you enjoy doing it when it's happening, but it's just not happening. This might be why. Hello there, internet pals. Welcome back to Better Creating. If you're new to the channel, it's all about simplifying creative life, so I make videos about productivity, simple living, creating better content. So today's video is a bit of a productivity and self-awareness book club. Yeah, that can be a game changer when it comes to understanding why we take action. I recently discovered Gretchen Rubin and her amazing theory of the Four Tendencies. It's a great book, you should check it out. It's not sponsored, I just found it and I think we should talk about it because it might just be the key to dealing more effectively with the pressure of the inner and outer expectations that we either put upon ourselves or feel happening to us. In this video then I'm going to break down these four tendencies along with my own kind of thoughts on practical solutions that might help you better be effective in the way you approach your life and work based on whichever tendency you might lean towards. As Gretchen writes on her website, when you learn your tendency, you can make better decisions, meet deadlines, suffer less stress and burnout, and engage more effectively. And the best thing is, if you hang around to the end of the video, I'll show you how you can actually properly test which one is you and also contribute to the research. Understanding which one you sit in is an amazing way to get a new perspective on how to get both yourself and others to act in a way you actually want. So according to Gretchen Rubin, there are four key personality types that define how we deal with our lives, right? Obligers, questioners, upholders, or rebel. What I like about these groups is that they're considered not absolutes, so that we shouldn't feel completely held by them. And I think that's really useful when we're helping ourselves to just unpick our habitual behaviours, so we can better understand either the systems that we build to support ourselves more effectively, or maybe change the kind of habits and routines that we want to in the long term. Why can't I get myself to do something that I want to do? Well, often this is because the person might be what Rubin calls an obliger. And this is probably my group, if I'm honest. This makes us the biggest group. According to her, 41% of us are obligers. And unfortunately, it's the hardest one to be in. As an obliger, according to Rubin, you have no trouble doing the request from a friend or hitting the deadline from a boss, but when it comes to making time for your own goals, you actually struggle. She says this is because we need outer accountability in order to meet an inner expectation. Simple. It might surprise you, but we need this outer accountability to do the things we love to do as well. Whether you're an obliger or not, we all need to consider this idea when we're trying to make things happen. Here are a couple of ways I think can help to find this outer accountability. Sign up to some apps or groups that can actually help you. Use things like habit trackers, track your progress and get the payoff of building a chain of successes. A journaling app or a habit tracker, I've got a couple of vids on how to make that in Notion if you're interested to hold yourself to account. Set clear goals and track your progress in order to stay focused. Try making public commitments to others that will cost you something if you fail to do them. You could even bet on yourself by making a bet on yourself that you'll do something and that you'll pay someone else some money if you don't. There's nothing like a financial incentive to up the ante. Questioners, they are the second biggest group. Questioners question all expectations.
They'll do something if they think it makes sense. They resist anything arbitrary, ineffective, unjustified. They have to know why.
That was Gretchen Rubin talking on the What's Essential podcast. Now, basically, if an action fails your inner expectations, you resist as a questioner. So their motto is, convince me why. They only follow inner expectations. So in my opinion, if you regularly interact with a questioner, consider the importance of defining a mutual understanding of why something is essential. This will empower both of you, but it'll also resist that feeling of the non-questioner potentially feeling quite drained and frustrated by those constant challenges that can come from someone who is a questioner. It's fine, it's no problem. Collaboration at its best, lovely. Productivity tips for questioners. Take time to reflect on the perspective and values of your collaborators, friends, clients, whoever they are. Understanding the perspective of other people can only help you go further with your own goals. Get good at communicating your values to others and enlist them on your journey. Learn from the upholders that you might know to create good structures and manage your tasks efficiently. We'll talk more about them in a moment. Consider using something like a decision-making framework that can guide and focus your direction. Some great examples of these are things like the regret minimization framework, which is Jeff Bezos, second order thinking, Howard Marks, or maybe first principles thinking, Elon Musk. Whichever way you look at it, decision-making frameworks are great tools that can be put outside of yourself for anyone, whether you're a questioner or not, to hone your decision-making and make stronger choices based on all the information. Intermission. If you're finding this valuable, would you take a minute and hit that like button? It goes a long way to help this get out to other people, supports the channel. I'll love you forever. So for the next two tendencies, very few of us actually fit into them, but whichever we're in, we can draw on those ways of looking at the world to become more rounded individuals. Upholders readily meet inner and outer expectations. They meet the work deadline and they keep the New Year's resolution. They want to know what other people's expectations are for them, but their own expectations are just as important, if not more important. So their motto is, "Discipline is my freedom," according to Gretchen Rubin. Now, I think if you're an upholder or work with an upholder, it's good to notice that probably upholders will have potentially unrealistic expectations of others, and so can feel let down a little bit. I'm so disappointed in you right now, Simon. So here are my suggestions for ways to support yourself if you are an upholder. Build a system that facilitates scheduling effectively. Make contracts with yourself about what is actually a realistic workload. What are the essential things to focus your energy on and to avoid burnout? As Greg McKeown talks about in his new book, Effortless, I think he explores this idea very well. There's that metaphor about how you fit the sand and the pebbles and the rocks in a bag. You have to put the big things in first, the most essential things. And he was making this great point in his podcast recently, which was, but what if you've got just a lot of big rocks? It's brilliant. And the point being that sometimes we can have a lot of essential things we feel we need to do and uphold. In this way, upholders can learn from questioners and use data and evidence to know where best to focus their energy. So if you're an upholder, A, I'm jealous, because that's great, and B, look after yourself. As you say that, maybe I'm becoming an upholder. It's 11:30 right now. I'm going a little bit doolally. I might be pushing myself too far, but I am upholding my inner expectation of filming a video this week. Interesting. Rebels resist all expectations, outer and inner alike. They want to do what they want to do in their own way, on their own time. I can wear a hat for what? And they can do anything they want. That's what's cool about a rebel. Anything they choose to do. But if you tell them what to do, they are very likely to resist, according to Gretchen. So typically rebels don't like to tell themselves what to do either. So they won't sign themselves up, for example, to a morning running club on a Sunday because, you know, who knows what you want to do on a Sunday. So their motto, as Gretchen says, is, "You can't make me and neither can I." So good. Check out this book. I mean, I'm not getting sponsored or anything, I just think it's a great book. So what's interesting is that rebels are often driven by their identity and why they are choosing to do something. And on top of that, what the consequences will be of those actions. So often rebels are very values driven. They can be hugely successful thought leaders or artists and business people. If you work with a rebel, maybe avoid setting hard, strict deadlines for them. You're probably going to get the best out of someone by giving them more space and liberating them to succeed or even exceed your expectations. Here are my tips for approaching productivity as a rebel. Number one is definitely get clear on the possible consequences of your choices so that you're making the right decision and going in the right direction. Get clear on who you are and what your values are and hold them really close. By doing that, the rest will probably just naturally follow, but you want to be really sure that you are pointing yourself in the right direction through those values. And remember, collaborators may need more structured justification for their work than you do, so help them with this and you'll lead everyone to a great place. I salute the rebels. So which do you think you are? Do you have a sense of it? Well, here's how to know for sure. Take Gretchen's quiz, it's on her website. I'm not sponsored, she's not backing me on this. I just think it's a great concept and can be really beneficial to all of us. And also the brilliant thing is we'll all be kind of contributing to the data that she's collecting, I presume, from that. Make sure to like this video if it's been useful, it goes a long way. It would be amazing if you left some comments. It would be even cooler if you subscribe. If you're not, turn on those notifications. You might also enjoy some of these videos over here. Where are they? Can you see them? Be an obliger. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.